In Behaalotecha, we have, amongst lots of narratives, the story of the 70 elders that were gathered by Moshe to help him run the affairs of the children of Israel in the wilderness, originally suggested by his father-in-law Jethro. And they asked each tribe to send delegates, and they would become part of these elders. And there were two men who were left over because there was a limit to the number of members of this kind of Sanhedrin, this kind of Supreme Court. And so two members were left out, Eldad and Medad. And whereas 70 were all gathered together in the tabernacle, they, outside the tabernacle, started prophesying. We don't know exactly what they were doing. Joshua felt very worried about this, felt this was undermining Moses' authority. He wanted to get rid of them, and Moses replied, "No, I'd be very happy if only God would enable all his people to be on this level of spirituality as they were prophesying." And that's where that particular narrative ends. Except then it moves almost immediately into a story of Miriam and Aaron complaining about Moshe and complaining about the Isha Cushit, this Isha Cushit that he married. What does Isha Cushit mean? The commentators have lots of different explanations. Cushit normally means a black woman, someone from Cush. But Cush needn't mean Africa, it could be southern Arabia. The Queen of Sheba came from southern Arabia, not from Africa. There is no trace anywhere of racism in the Torah. There is a trace of preferring tribes according to their morality, but not based on race. And so who was this woman that Moshe had married? Probably it was Tzipporah, who was from Midian, and Midian could have been a blackish kind of country. It could be that Cushite is used elsewhere. The children of Israel is described as B'nai Cushim, you are the sons of Cush to me, which means very special, so the opposite of something negative. Whatever the reason is, they complained about her. It's very late, he's been married to Tzipporah for a very long time, so why all of a sudden are they complaining now? And the rabbis are very eager to find an explanation, and their explanation is that when Eldad and Medad were excluded from their public role, Miriam said to their wives, "You don't know how lucky you are, because if you are involved in a public role, your family life suffers." Look at what happened to Moses. And Moses, when he was asked to receive the Torah, separated from his wife and hasn't been living with her since. Now, on the one hand, you could say this is a very good argument. This is like saying the leader's got to set an example. We don't believe in monasticism or celibacy, and Moses had to set a good example. But Miriam and Aaron are punished. And why are they punished? Their argument to Moshe is that Gam banu diber Hashem, God has spoken to us too. Don't we have a say in how things should be run? And this was exactly the same argument that, in a sense, Moses used about Eldad and Medad. I'm in favor of everybody having this capacity to reach God. So why was Miriam punished? Aaron actually wasn't punished in the same way. And the answer is there are ways of objecting, but you don't make it a public issue and talking Lashon Hara, and that's why her punishment was leprosy. But the truth of the matter is that there are two issues here. There's the challenge to Moses' authority, which in a way was a challenge to God because Moses was appointed by God. But there's also the other issue. The other issue that's repeated twice is that we all have the capacity to rise to a superior level. And it's up to us to make the most of what God has given us, our capacity and our ability. We shouldn't need to depend on other people. We need leaders, and we have to defer to leaders. But our primary responsibility is to develop our own personal capacities.